Tēnā tātou katoa, good evening. Survivors and victims' families have been giving harrowing victim impact statements at the sentencing of parties involved in the Whakaari White Island tragedy.
22 people were killed and 25 injured after the volcano erupted on the 9th of December 2019. Judge Evangelos Thomas told the court 4 years was too long to wait for their voices to be heard. Adam Hollingworth was in court.
4 years ago, Whakaari White Island roared into life, claiming lives and causing horrific injuries. Today, its victims had their say.
It's about time. 4 years is far too long to wait for your voices to be heard.
6 parties are guilty for their role in the tragedy: the owner's company, Whakaari Management Limited, the tour group White Island Tours, 3 helicopter companies and the government geoscience agency GNS, which will be sentenced later this week.
We acknowledge, even if we can't imagine, what you have all been through and what you continue to be through. We remember and honour those who have passed.
WorkSafe lawyer Christy McDonald says the catastrophic loss of life had a profound effect on the community and the nation. But for those directly involved, the pain suffered was immeasurable.
They continue to suffer the effects today and will do so for the rest of their lives. The unimaginable emotional pain for loved ones of those killed and injured, families shattered, lives changed forever.
Since losing him, it's always there. I'm not as joyful as I used to be.
24-year-old tour guide Tipene Mangi's brother, Tawhai, described how he was called into work at the last minute, but seemed to have a premonition of the disaster.
The morning that he left, he told me that he might have a feeling that something may happen. He went to work anyway.
Paula Mangi believes her son was the last person to be taken off the helicopter when his body was recovered, with others, days after the tragedy.
I know that's my son. I recognise his big puku. Oh gosh, that's too much.
Paula Mangi was unable to continue. Victim Support's Colleen Ellis finished the statement in which Paula confided she'd drunk to numb the pain and almost thought about ending her life, but didn't for the sake of her children, Tipine's siblings.
As a baby, I used to escape my parents' bedroom to sleep beside him. Even as I grew up, we both continued to top and tail. He would shove his stink feet in my face.
He was also my best friend. He was like my partner in crime, but also a guiding light and a mentor. One thing I loved about my brother was every time he stepped foot in a room, it lit up. His smile shined brighter than the sun. His hugs felt like you were flying through the clouds.
Looking back when the eruption occurred, hope, shock, angry, anxiety, cheated, blame, stress, guilt. What if? Why didn't I?
Tour guide Hayden Marshall Inman's body was never recovered. His father, a former tour guide, says he came to terms with the eruption but struggled to cope with the actions of those who were meant to respond to the tragedy.
Every morning when I wake up, I can see the White Island in the distance and wonder just where Hayden's body lies, as he never came home, thanks to the incompetence of those responsible for his recovery.
Australian tourist Chris Kozad died on the island. His father John survived. He stood next to Chris's mother Beverly, who struggled to complete her statement.
I was told on Christmas. I can't read it.
It's all right. Do you want me to read it? You're doing well. You're doing well.
I can't.
All right.
I just can't read it.
Since the disaster, my mood has been low and I've been frequently tearful. I constantly feel empty, as if there is something missing.
American tourist Lauren Urie underwent 75 reconstructive surgeries and laser procedures. She and husband Matt went to White Island on their honeymoon, but ended up fighting for their lives.
I remember wishing that I had died in the eruption, because I had gone from being independent to being totally dependent on my family. And I thought I would never be the same or worth living. Yeah, I'm okay.
Aside from the agony, the inability to even open a bottle, the couple say the aftermath of the eruption has been fights with their insurance company, stress on their marriage, and a blow to their self-esteem and confidence.
I like to keep a low profile and blend in, but now I feel like I could not stand out more if I tried. I'm often referred to as the volcano guy, which is frustrating as I don't want to be defined by the worst day of my life. It's also a constant reminder of what I went through and I'm still going through today.
But the court heard that reparations would end up being small. The defendants would be able to provide only $5.3 million between them, thanks mostly to a $5 million insurance payout to White Island Tours. The owner's company, WML, has no cash.
Revenue generated through the licensing agreements entered into with WML was not paid to WML, but rather was paid directly to the Family Trust and is not available for reparation.
Today was a day of many tears. Victim impact statements will continue tomorrow. Adam Hollingworth, News Hub.